Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. So today we're going to be discussing Emacs. We're going to be talking about the basics of Emacs, the essential Emacs commands, and how you can use Emacs properly. Okay. But before we start, I would like us to quickly click on the subscribe button and turn on our notification. We promise to bring to you exciting videos, that would really improve you. So kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you can get notified when new videos are being posted. All right, so it's that just going to take like 1 or 2 minutes. It's not going to take your time, so please subscribe to our channel. All right, so let's start. Emacs is basically an editor that you can use to open a file, save a file, navigate, around the content of the file. So it's an editor. It helps you to write into a file, read a file, edit a file. All right. So we can access Emacs from any command line interface. So here we have the git bash. All right. So when I write the Emacs, the command Emacs is going to open Emacs for me. All right. So when we write the Emacs command, Emacs, press enter. So here we have welcome to GNU Emacs, one component of the Linux GNU Linux operating system. So we have several things here, get help, several commands that you can use with Emacs. All right. Here, C means use the control key, of course. So any command that you see capital letter C, it actually means the control key. And M means the meta key. So the meta key is the alt key or the escape key. Okay. So you can either use the escape key or the alt key. So we have several commands here. CH, it means control H. CHR means control H, then R. Okay, so here also told us about the build, the version, the license, and all that. All right, so to exit this screen, you're going to type Control X, Control C. That is CXC. Of course, you can see it here. To exit Emacs, um you're going to press CXCC, which means Control X, Control C. So you hold the Control down, then press the X key and the C key. Of course, okay? Control S, Control C. All right, so you press Control S, Control C, and then you're back to the normal interface. Okay, so like we said earlier, the meta, the meta key, that is M, is the escape key on your keyboard, and the capital letter C is the the control keyboard. So C is control. mm, C is control keyboard, and and M is the meta keyboard, meta key, or the alt key, or the escape key. So whatever it is, you should have either of those on your keyboard. The control, the alt, the escape. So whenever a command requires capital letter C, of course, you're going to use the control key. And whenever a command, an Emacs command, requires a capital letter M, you're going to use the escape key or the alt key. Okay? All right, so let's start by creating a new file. Now, to create a new file, using Emacs, we're going to use the command Emacs, Emacs, then the file name. So let's use the file name as tutorial. Okay, the file name as Emacs tutorial. Okay, let me not use Emacs so that I won't confuse us. All right, so let's use Emacs tutorial. Okay, so press enter. As you can see, it has taken us to the Emacs editor page. Here, file edit options, buffer tools help. And down below here, we have our file name, which is tutorial. Is of course a new file. All right. So as it is, we have not saved our file yet. Now to save our file, this is the command that we're going to use. The command is cx, then cs. And don't forget that we talked about the capital letter C being a control key on your keyboard. So the CX, CS means that we're going to press Control X and Control S. This will save our file, all right, for saving a file, all right? Okay. CSCS is the command for saving a file. So we're going to save this. We're going to save this using this command. So Control X, Control S, Control X, Control X. So of course, if you look at it down here, it says wrote slash tutorial. This means that it has been saved. All right. Initially, we were having new file, isn't it? But now you're having wrote tutorial, which means that your file tutorial has been saved. All right. So let's move forward. How can we open an existing file on Emacs? Here, we're going to exit Emacs so that we can open our tutorial file using the Emacs command. And of course, I said if we want to quit Emacs, we are going to use the Control X, Control C commands, which is, let's put that down. Next line, we're going to use Control, Control X, control. So I'm going to be interchanging between capital letter C and control, of course, so that we get used to it that capital letter C means control. So we have Control X, Control C. So that is the command is the command for quitting emails. Okay, so we're going to execute this command now, which is Control X, Control C to quit Emacs. But before then, let's save so that we can have our write up intact. Okay, so let's save. Control X, Control S. So of course it's saved down. So let's quit Emacs. Control X, Control C. So we're back to our terminal. All right. So let's open our file, the tutorial file. So we're going to open that file using the command Emacs and whatever file name that you want to open. Of course, we want to open tutorial. So we're going to use Emacs tutorial. All right, press enter. And of course, we have our file opened again to edit. So from here, you can do whatever manipulations that you want to do on this particular file. All right, so let's write the command down. Let's write the command down. Okay. You might be wondering what I'm using. I'm using my arrow key. I'm using the arrow key. Enter. So Emacs file name. Don't forget, you're going to represent this as your whatever file that you want to open. File name, that is to open a file. All right. So, and of course, to open and also create a file. To open or create a file. Okay. And save. Control X, Control S. Saved. All right, so the next command we're going to be talking about is how to leave Emacs temporarily. So to leave Emacs temporarily, you're going to use the command. You're going to use the command CX, then CZ. So use the command for leaving Emacs temporarily. That's not to quit completely. Emacs temporarily. Okay. All right. All right. So this is particularly necessary if you need to switch between your terminal and the editor. Perhaps you want to go check up some command that you wrote in your terminal and you don't want to completely leave Emacs. You want to still come back to continue editing a file or manipulating a file whatsoever. So you use the command to temporarily leave Emacs, check your editor, and come back. And when you're coming back, you're going to use the when you're coming back, you're going to use the command fg to return. So this is a command for leaving Emacs temporarily and command and the command fg is used to return back to the editor. All right. So let us, return to our terminal. That is leave Emacs temporarily. So CXCZ means control X, Control Z. So we're here. Looking at this, it's quite different from when you leave Emacs totally. At this point, we left Emacs totally, but at this point, we left Emacs temporarily. So you see, one plus stopped Emacs tutorial. Now, if we want to go back to the Emacs editor, we're just going to type in the FG and you press enter and it takes you back to the editor. All right.